at the age of 15, 16, 17, and 18 until he stopped it at 19 that grown men probably wasn't doing at my age. I was doing things that I was ashamed to tell my mother, or even allow my mother to have somebody else tell her the things that I was doing out in the streets. But I had to look back to be ashamed, because at that moment I thought I was in the right, because I was driving. I didn't care about any other drivers on the road along with me. It was just me. You know, but God had to take the wheel. He had to bring me back. So that was one of the first things that he done to show me that his power was real, because that caught my attention immediately. Why did she do that for me? When she lost her left eye, when she was a part of a robbery that she didn't ask to be a part of, her whole life was tragically shattered because of our actions. Why would she do that for me? Why would she save me from a 36-year sentence? You know, and as I started to go into my incarceration period, I don't want to take up too much time, but I got to deliver this message. As I started out my incarceration period, I never forget it, they took me to Polk Youth Center, the new Polk Youth Center in Butler, North Carolina. This is my first time ever being incarcerated. The longest time I ever spent in jail or prison as a youth was 24 days, and that was in the county jail. And 24 days compared to 14 years and 5 months, I was about to lose my mind. But God had his hands on me. And I didn't know it, but until he revealed it to me again, and I'm going to get to that. But once again, going into incarceration, I thought I could drive again. I put my hands back on the steering wheel. After he done showed me his power in that courtroom, I still thought I could drive. Because now I'm going into this prison system, I'll never forget it. I was in the back of the car, shackled down in 4 restraints, couldn't even move, and they taking me to this big prison. I remember it looked like a dark, haunted castle. It was about 5 o'clock in the morning. It's just me and the deputy sheriff. He taking me to prison. And I just remember driving up, and he driving up, pulling up to this big haunted castle with all this barbed wire and Constantine wire and fences and guards with guns. And as he's pulling up, I'm saying to myself, there's no way they're gonna lock me in there. There's no way they're gonna lock me up in there. For 14 years and 5 months, there's no way. So I was going in wrong. I was going into the situation wrong. But as they drove through them gates and took me underground to book me, take me through processing, he put his hands on me again. And he told me in my mind, he said, if you use this as a tool, I will make you everything you ever wanted to be in life.
Man.
He put those words in my mind, because instantly I became calm. When I first seen it, I was like, there's no way I'm going in here and I'm going to tear everything up around me. That was my mentality. But he calmed me, he stilled me.
Yes.
And then instead of downward thinking, he brought my thinking back up, because I immediately said, I'm gonna turn this into my university.
My God.
I'm gonna turn this 14 years and 5 months into my self-educational period. This is my college right here. So instead of looking at it in a split second, instead of looking at it like a dark, haunted castle, I started looking at it as my Yale, or my Harvard,
My God.
or my Princeton,
Come on now.
or my A&T,
Come
or
on.
my UNC Charlotte, or my UNC Greensboro. I started looking at this as my institution of education immediately. And so forth, those thoughts carried me through my time period. 80% of my time in prison was spent in some type of educational institution. And whether if it was GED, I had a high school diploma. I graduated in 1995 from Southern Wayne High School. But when I went to prison, I still went and got a GED. Just so I could be in some type of educational setting. I told myself I didn't have a job in the world, and I'm not going to work in prison. And I fought it for like 8 years. I went to school for like my first 8 years in prison. I was just taking up any and everything. No matter what it was, sign me up. Because I was not going to work in no one's penitentiary for slave wages.
Yes.
You know, I wanted to work my mind
Come
and
on
not
now.
my body.
Come on.
And these are the thoughts that God had given me. This is the way that he restructured my thinking. Instead of thinking down, he forced me to think up. Instead of thinking externally, He forced me to think internally. If it was a book lying around, he forced me to read it. It attracted me. You could never get me to read a book before I went to prison. That was the last thing on my mind. But he made me fall in love with reading. And the more I read, I read the Bible, I read the Quran, I read anything that I can put information in my mind to use and share with other people. I wanted to relate to all. And not knowing that he was preparing me for the position that he put me in the whole time. Now, in order for him to make you your best, sometimes he's going to show you your worst. And that's what he did to me. He allowed me to witness things that changed my life. He allowed me to see if I kept with that downward thinking, it was going to be my demise. It was going to eventually lead to my physical demise, the way that I was thinking, the way that I was carrying on. Because when I first hit prison, even though I had these thoughts in my mind that this was going to be my university, this was going to be my college, I was going to educate myself, that old part of me, that dark part of me was still there. It was deeply rooted. That downward thinking was deeply rooted because I started to rebel against my environment. I would not accept the fact that I'm not coming home until 2011. And here it is, 1998. In my mind, I'm like, man, cars would be flying by then. You know, there's no way I'm finna be locked up that long right there. So I started rebelling against my environment. I got in fights. I used to gamble. I used to do everything that I used to do outside of prison. I was doing it inside of prison. And he wouldn't change my life until I let that